Colwin's Corner. Written by Andrea Carroll. Narrated by Dark Infinity. I usually like to watch TV with my little sister Kimberly. She was only 5, so of course she wanted all the cutesy kids shows. I really didn't mind though. They made her happy and I liked spending time with her. She watched shows like Dora, Blue's Clues, and Arthur. We often had a lot of DVDs of old kid shows around the house that we would watch. There was an large box of old movies and TV shows in the attic. I took a brief look at it once, but none of them looked like they would appeal to her. One day, Kimberly was at a doctor's appointment, and I thought I'd have time to watch a movie aimed more towards my age range. So I thought this would be a good time to look through the box of old movies in the attic. While I looked through the box, I noticed that these movies didn't really interest me, but I kept looking in hopes to find something. Then I saw at the bottom of the box a DVD labeled Colwin's Corner. Many memories started to come back to me. I used to watch the show as a kid. It was about an orange puppet named Colwin, who lived in a house on the corner of a street. He often would have his other puppet friends come over to play games and sing songs. It was cute and innocent, and I remember really liking it as a kid. I thought this would be a good show for my sister and I to watch. When Kimberly got home, I told her I got a new show for us to watch. She got excited and sat down on the couch while I put the disc in. I sat down next to her as the selection screen popped up. The screen looked just as I remembered it. It showed Colwin and his friends in the front of the house. I chose the first episode, and the theme song began. I was a little confused. The colors were a lot darker, and I remember the song was sung a lot slower and in a deeper voice. I didn't think much of it as I hadn't seen the show in a long time, and I probably forgot some elements of it. The show began pretty normally. Colwin was in his house and said hello to the viewers. There was a knock on his door, and he said, "I think my friends are here." When he opened the door, I felt my heart to my throat. Standing at the door were 2 tall white puppets with no nose or mouth, only pitch black eyes. I was shocked because I don't even remember these characters on the show. Even the cover of the DVD showed 2 colorful, friendly puppets. I looked over at Kimberly and she had this big smile on her face. I was confused, since an image that wouldn't terrify a child. "I'm not sure if we should watch this anymore," I told her. "No, please keep it on," she exclaimed. I continued watching as the giant puppets didn't seem to faze her. The 2 puppets came into the house. Colwin asked, "What do you guys want to do today?" The little puppet replied with the most horrific sound I have ever heard. It sounded like a man shouting, almost screaming in a strange language. The audio was distorted at this point. I got up and ejected the disc from the VCR, much to Kimberly's disappointment. "Why did you stop it? Put it back on," she said. I didn't listen and put the DVD in a drawer. Even though Kimberly wasn't bothered by the show, I still thought it was too disturbing for a 5-year-old. I had trouble sleeping that night. I kept thinking about the video. I watched that show all the time when I was younger. I definitely haven't seen every episode. I didn't understand why I didn't remember an episode like this. I was still curious about the rest of the episode. I decided to go downstairs to finish it. I took the DVD out of the drawer and put it in the VCR. I put on headphones so the noise wouldn't disturb my family. The episode began the same, with a strange intro and large puppets. After the one puppet made his terrifying sound, Colwin replied, "You're right, we should play a game." Then he grabbed a knife out of the counter and cut into a live-action arm, painted orange to represent Colwin's. The knife went up into the arm and started to cut slits, each one deeper than the last. Colwin started to scream a blood-curdling scream. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I felt sick to my stomach. Blood gushed out of the wounds as the scream got louder and louder. Then it cut to a live-action neck, painted orange. The knife went up to the throat and cut a deep slit in it. The blood began gushing out. It showed Colwin gasping heavily for air, before his eyes turned completely white. The episode ended with him falling to the ground as the two tall, white puppets looked directly into the camera with pitch-black eyes. I was terrified utterly at this point. I immediately ejected the DVD and threw it in the trash. I couldn't sleep all that night. I kept thinking about the episode. I got up the next morning and went downstairs to get some breakfast. I walked past Kimberly's room and saw that she wasn't in there. When I went downstairs, I saw her on the couch finishing up the horrific episode I watched last night. I immediately grabbed the remote and turned the TV off. "Why'd you do that?" she asked. "Where did you get that DVD?" I shouted. "It was in the garbage," she replied. "I took it out because I wanted to finish the episode." This show is very bad," I shouted. "No, it's not," she said. "They were just baking a cake." "What?" I said. "The episode was about Colwin and his friends baking a cake," she replied. I was shocked. What did his friends look like?" I asked. "One was blue and one was red," she replied. "I really liked it. Can I watch it again?"